Hello, Stoney fam. Welcome back to another episode of TokeTalks with Tia. This is now episode number 31, and it's hump day, so happy hump day, everybody. So for this episode, I'm kind of going to talk about life and what life was like before weed. And by that, I mean before weed was legal, before I smoked it, all that kind of stuff. So when I was really, really young, not like super young, but like in school, in elementary school, and even in middle school, they always had those like ads, and even like the kind of like the campaign ads like on TV and stuff like that they would show in those little VCR clips that they had on the health classes that we would take. And they talk about how cannabis is so bad and weed is so bad, and there would just be these awful, awful videos about it. And like I never thought that I would ever smoke or do anything like that, pick up cigarettes, anything, even drink. I never thought that I would do any of it. Have I done all of them? Yes. I will say, though, I do not regret picking up weed. That, I will say, is not the worst thing I could ever possibly do. There's a lot worse things you could be doing, and smoking is not really one of them. So I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to really get back into it, because I did do a whole episode kind of about it when I did the, going back in time one. If you go back to that episode, you can hear me talk about that. So peep back to that one if you're interested. But, yeah, guys, I've been smoking since before it was legal, or at least in our state, Massachusetts, the one that I'm talking about, because I can't really speak for everybody else. I am happy, though, that it's legalized in a lot of other states. Not everywhere, though, yet. It should be. But, yeah, I've been smoking for a long time now. And I remember when it was legalized, and that was one of the best days. It actually, it doesn't really change that much. Like, it doesn't feel that much different. Because, I've already been smoking before it was legal. But at the same time, it's a lot more... It gives you a lot easier feeling to know that you're not going to, lose where you live or get arrested or, lose your shit, really, for having it on you or anything like that. We'll get into that, what I mean by that, because you obviously can't, when you're driving and stuff like that, you have to have it, in an enclosed area. You can't just, have all your weed out and shit, be smoking while you're driving. You're probably going to get in trouble for that, obviously, but if you get caught, obviously. But sorry, guys, I had to pause for a second. My dog was losing his mind barking for a sec, so I had to stop him. But yeah, there have been a lot of times where when I was younger smoking, it gave me a lot of anxiety to even be out in public high, because I was like, what the hell, what if I get in trouble, especially too because I was younger, so I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't realize how the world works, nobody really gives a shit if you're high, but it was really scary. And now it feels like a little bit better, it's a lot easier, uneasy. Makes me a lot less uneasy to, be how I can be high out in public and I can talk about it and I can post about it and it's not, illegal. So it's great. Unfortunately, though, for some people, it's not the case, and I feel really bad for those people in those areas. I wish that it was not like that and that the world changes soon and fast. One time, though, there's this funny story I can think of that came to my mind when I was about, I want to say 15 or so. I was smoking with a bunch of my friends. We had, my friend rolled up a really fat blunt and we're smoking, and in the middle of us smoking, this cop showed up and rolled up behind us, and we could see them, the headlights from behind, we could feel it right behind us, and we turn around, we see them, and I fucking, I had the blunt in my hand because it was my hit, so I decided to put it out with my shoe, and then I stuck it in my boot, and they had no idea, and, they searched my friends, and they didn't have anything. That's all we had was the blunt in my boot. They had left, and then shortly after they'd left, I noticed that the blunt had burnt, actually, it wasn't completely out yet, and it had burnt actually a hole through my Ugg. That's what I was wearing at the time, was these really cute knit Ugg boots. They were black, and it burnt a whole asshole into it. So I was pretty pissed about that, but I have the blunt still, so that's cool. Or one time, my stupid ass douchebag stepdad called the cops on me for smoking pot in the house, which is ridiculously stupid and a waste of time. But yeah, he called the cops on me. They came in the house, and I had hidden my bong and my weed and everything, but I'd forgotten one bowl. It wasn't even mine, actually, sadly. It was one of my friends, and I'd left it out. That's all that they had taken, but they could not search the rest of my room, really. I'd left that out, and he had given them permission to go into the apartment, but they were not allowed to search through my things, so I'd hid it in the closet. And as soon as they left, I sparked back up, because I was like, fuck you. And at that time, I was a little shit, also, and did not care about the repercussions, if there were to be any, and I really did not like my stepfather. I still don't, but I would really, he would antagonize me, and I would antagonize him back. He's very childish like that, so, and I'm not really one to take someone's shit. I can only take so much, and he kind of just pushes the limit. So it's another reason why weed's great, because that helps me cope. Helped, I mean, not really helps, I don't live there anymore, but it would help me cope with his stupid, annoying ass, because he would be constantly drunk, and whether it either be, he would be constantly drunk and an asshole, or an asshole because he wasn't drunk. So, he's one of those. And so, sorry guys, I haven't really been giving you guys so many episodes like I used to do. I've been a little bit busy this past couple weeks in life, and it's getting colder out, things are just going on, so I'm sorry, but I'm here. And I also got super wrapped up the past 2 days watching what everyone's been talking about, Squid Game. I'm not going to spoil it at all, but I will say this one and only thing, it is fucking not at all what I thought it would be like, but at the same time, it's awesome. It's super crazy, and I highly recommend watching it when you're high, because that shit had me very super drawn in. And to give you guys just a little personal update about what I've done today for the past, just what I did today, because I feel like sharing with you guys. Me and my boyfriend went to the store, and we got my dog this really cute couple outfits, and he fits in both of them really well, which I'm super glad, because most of his outfits that he had, he was kind of growing out of, and he didn't fit in them. And I was worrying about what he was going to wear once winter came, because it's really cold, and he didn't have anything for winter. His old owner didn't have anything for him that she had given us, and we didn't have anything for him yet. So we went and got him some stuff, and he fits all of it, so I'm really glad. We also went to his parents' house and cleaned out a bunch of his old stuff that he needed to get, and boxed it up, brought it home. We got some lunch, and I took the dog out for a few times for a few walks. I'm probably going to obviously still have to do that a few more times, but it's really relaxing, I put my headphones in and taking him out and going for a nice little walk with him. Also had to go to the bank and do a couple other errands, but nothing really too fun. Mostly just errands and just relaxing. It's been really gloomy out, raining, just icky, but trying to get him outside as much as I can while the rain stopped. And I also, speaking of the clothes that we got him this really cute rain jacket, and it's a really cute champion red rain jacket. It's super adorable on him. He looks so cute. He's kind of a pain in the ass, though, to put that one on specifically, but I don't know. He looks really cute in it, and he likes it. Also, before I keep on talking away, I do have the bong in front of me packed and ready to smoke, so I'm going to smoke with you guys. Alright guys, I'm back. I just had a little coughing fit, but I'm okay, except for my right eye is a little bit watery. I don't know why my other one isn't, but that tends to happen sometimes. I don't know if that happens to you too, like after you smoke or while you're smoking, if like one of your eyes just gets super watery, whether it's the same one or not, doesn't really matter, but kind of weird too if it's the same exact one, but I don't know why that happens. My eye just gets super watery. And I also, lately, since I haven't been doing my makeup that often, there's positive and the negative side to that. There's the positive side. My skin's been a lot clearer, and it feels a lot softer, and when I do my makeup, it's kind of like a special treat, because I used to do it all the time, and people around me are like, oh, you look really nice today, and I used to do that all the time, and it wasn't, something that I even thought of, but now it's like, I have to get back into practicing, because I lost touch with it for a little while. I hadn't done it for a few months, so it just kind of, I thought I would be able to pull it back up and just like ride a bicycle, be right back into doing it. But no, it took a little bit of practicing again, and just getting used to it on my face, because it just feels super sticky a little bit, because I'll use like glitter and stuff like that sometimes, and I'm not used to it anymore. It feels just really weird, and I'm not used to it, and I'll like forget my makeup's there and like wipe my eye, and I used to never do stuff like that, so I know it's weird, funny, but I kind of like giving myself a break once in a while, and I do this all the time, like once a year or so. I'll just give myself a full-on break and not wear makeup that often for a couple months, because I just want my face to breathe, and I feel like I don't want to wear too much makeup sometimes. I'm just not in the mood to put it on, and people get the wrong idea sometimes about why girls like to put their makeup on or do it anyway. It's because we like to do it. It's not really just to impress anybody. It's to impress ourselves. Like, we want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, we look good, and for others, and including myself, we do it because it's like art. It's fun. It's creative. It's a way to show yourself and be yourself. It's not just because you want to cover your face or you think you're ugly, because I've had people tell me when I used to wear makeup all the time, that is, And vice versa. People say that all the time to other girls, like, that don't wear makeup. Oh, you should wear makeup. You're ugly, yada, yada. I don't think that that's the case. If, they don't want to wear makeup, they don't need to wear makeup. Especially if they're pretty and don't need it anyway. Why the fuck are you going to make them... Regardless, who cares? Like, do you. Like, let anybody do them what they want to do. But on the other spectrum, girls that wear a lot of makeup or just a lot of the time wear makeup, we get judged for it, like as if we think we're ugly or something and that we need to cover our face or whatever the case may be. That's not the truth. That's not why. We want to wear makeup because we like to, and whether or not that's the case, that could be for some people, but I don't wear it because I think I'm ugly. I like to wear makeup because it's fun. Another thing that just pops into my head, so going back to what I was just talking about when pretty much the whole podcast, about, legalization and what it was like, in places that are not legal or before it was legalized, when, like, the movie Super Troopers came out. That was a long time ago that it came out, but really funny movie. And, they kind of make it obviously kind of like a joke. It's not a super serious thing, but, like, people were getting in trouble for it, and in, like, real life, there are people that are still in prison for it and are still getting in trouble for crimes that are related to it. And it's just, I don't even understand why it's considered crime, whether it be, and by that I mean, like, carrying it on you, like, if you have it for your own personal use and you're using it for yourself, like, I don't understand why that's such a big deal, because people are getting in trouble with that. I know that I've gotten into legal trouble before, and I had a quarter on me, and when I had, gotten out of trouble, I got gotten arrested. That's a whole nother story. We'll actually share that one time. That's a funny podcast, I guess, in a way. It's kind of not, but it is. It's not for what people would think it is, and I do not have a record. I'm perfectly clean, do not have a record. But I did get into some trouble when I was about 19 years old. Before I share the whole story on that, it was because of something that my stepfather was trying to do to my sister, and I had attacked him. So it's not really that funny of a story, but what happened afterward was a little bit. There are parts that are funny. But I had a quarter on me when that happened, and I got arrested. And when I had left, after, being processed and whatever, and paid my bail and stuff, and I got my purse and everything, they tried to, like, ticket me or cite me. I don't know what else really it was called, but it was like a fee, trying to charge me, saying that I had way more pot on me than I had, which is not true. They said I had over an ounce on me, which I had under a quarter. It was about a quarter or less. It was definitely not that much. I could not afford that at the time either, and I'd used the last of my money to bail myself out. So if I had that much money, that didn't make any sense. So I was really angry about it, and one of the officers there had seen me talking about it, and he was actually pretty cool. I'll say he was one of the, like, rare ones that are actually good, and let me rip it up and walk away and not have to pay it, because it was fucking stupid and ridiculous in the first place, because I didn't even have that on me in the first place. And weirdly enough, too, they let me keep my broken bowl, which made no sense if they were so pissed off about the weed, but they let me keep my broken bowl that I'd been using, and they'd taken my grinder, taken my little pill bottle that I'd been using that was covered in stickers. I'd ripped off everything else and made it like a Sailor Moon little pill bottle stash jar, whatever. Taken that, took all my weed, but they didn't take my bowl. It was kind of broken, so that could be why. I don't know. Weird. Or they didn't find it, but I highly doubt it, because that thing stunk like weed. Very, very, very strongly. But I am going to end this episode kind of short, guys. I have something else planned to talk about on the next one, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling a little bit too stoned to be talking for this podcast, and just kind of need to go take a little bubble bath and clear my head and just relax for the rest of the night. I've been run around all day and been stressed all week, having to do stuff, and on top of, what I talked about in the last podcast, dealing with people like that and other shit that I was dealing with the past week or so, it's a little stressful and tiring on my body as well as my mind. So as much as the weed helps, I do need to balance it out with a nice bubble bath, or on top of that, I plan on reading one of my books that I'm really super excited to finish, that I have not finished yet, and just kind of chill out for the rest of the night. So thank you guys for listening again. I love you guys, whether it be just somebody that's popped on, just a new listener. Thank you guys so much for joining. Whether it be somebody that's been listening this whole time too. Thank you guys so much. Twitter fam, Tumblr fam, you guys are all awesome. And I love you guys all so much. Sorry, I just stumbled there. I meant to say Tumblr, not Tumblr. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and happy hump day. I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.